Imagine a dark, stormy forest in northern Europe. It's the dead of night. Thunder doesn't just roll, it crashes with a visceral force that shakes the very ground beneath you. Lightning isn't just a flicker, it's a brilliant, jagged crack that tears the sky open, illuminating a world drenched in shadow and rain for a fleeting, terrifying moment. A thick, clammy fog snakes its way between the ancient, gnarled trees, clinging to the damp earth and muffling all sound. The air is heavy, pregnant with a primal fear that goes beyond the mere power of the storm. It's an ancient dread, something that whispers in the marrow of your bones. Then, through the momentary silence between thunderclaps, a new sound emerges. It starts low, a mournful, eerie call that seems to echo from the very soul of the wilderness. It's the sound of a hunting horn, but not one of this world. The notes are long, drawn out, and filled with a chilling sense of purpose and doom. As the horn's call fades, your gaze is drawn upward, past the thrashing canopy of the forest, toward the roiling, bruised purple storm clouds. The camera begins to pan, a slow, deliberate movement that builds an almost unbearable tension. And then you see them, emerging not from the horizon, but from the very fabric of the storm itself, are figures on horseback. They are ghostly, spectral, their forms flickering in and out of existence with each flash of lightning. These are the riders, their spectral horses galloping soundlessly across the canvas of the night sky. Their armor, ancient and ornate, doesn't reflect the lightning, but instead emits a faint, cold, ethereal glow like moonlight trapped in ice. At the head of this ghastly procession rides a figure cloaked in shadow, a silhouette of immense power and authority. In one hand, he grips a long, dark spear that seems to drink the light from the air around it. This is Odin, the Allfather, the Wanderer, leading his eternal, furious chase. Behind him, a pack of hounds streams through the clouds, their eyes burning like embers and their bodies wreathed in spectral flames, their silent howls echoing in the soul rather than the ear. This is the Wild Hunt, a terrifying cavalcade of the dead, a harbinger of war, plague, and disaster, riding the winds of the storm. The legend of the Wild Hunt is one of the most pervasive and enduring myths in European folklore. From the misty highlands of Scotland to the dense, dark forests of Germany and the frozen fjords of Scandinavia, tales of a ghostly procession of hunters thundering across the night sky have been told for centuries. While the leader and the composition of the hunt change depending on the region, the core elements remain terrifyingly consistent. A spectral leader, a pack of phantom hounds, and a host of ghostly riders, their appearance a dire omen for any who witness it. They are most often seen during the harshest months of winter, particularly around the winter solstice, a time when the veil between the world of the living and the realm of the dead is thought to be at its thinnest. They ride on the fiercest gales and the most violent storms, their horns and the baying of their hounds mingling with the howling of the wind. To hear their call is a sign of impending catastrophe, be it war, famine, plague, or the death of the one who heard it. To see them is even worse, and to be caught in their path is to risk being swept away. your soul forced to join their macabre retinue for all eternity. In Norse mythology, the undisputed leader of the hunt is Odin. Known by many names Odin in Old English, Wotan in Old High German, he is the chief of the USIR gods, the god of wisdom, war, poetry, and death. It is this last association that links him so intrinsically to the wild hunt. Odin is a psychopomp, a guide of souls. One of his primary roles is to gather the spirits of worthy slain warriors, the Einherjar, and escort them to Valhalla, his great hall in Asgard. There, they feast and fight, training for the final battle of Ragnar. The wild hunt can be seen as a darker, more frantic version of this duty. It represents Odin in his most fearsome and primal aspect, not as a wise and thoughtful ruler, but as the furious god of the storm and the relentless collector of the dead. He is the Asgardians' chief, the furious host, riding out to gather not just the souls of noble warriors, but any soul unfortunate enough to cross his path. In this guise, he is a figure of pure, untamed natural force, a living embodiment of the winter storm itself. The origins of the myth are believed to be ancient, stretching back to pre-Christian pagan beliefs. Early folklorists, like Jacob Grimm, theorized that the various leaders of the hunt across Europe were all echoes of this original Odin wooden figure. As Christianity spread, the pagan gods were demonized. Odin, the revered All-Father, was transformed into a devilish figure, a specter of doom leading a host of the damned. His noble collection of souls for Valhalla was twisted into a demonic kidnapping of the unwary. In other regional variations, the leader of the hunt might be a historical or legendary figure. In parts of England, it is sometimes King Arthur or Herne the Hunter, a ghost associated with Windsor Forest. In Denmark, it is King Valdemar Atterdag. In France, the Breton hero King Arthur again, or the Knight Roland. Some traditions even name a female leader, such as the Germanic goddesses Holda or Perchta, who lead processions of the souls of unbaptized children. But despite these regional differences, the shadow of Odin, the cloaked, one-eyed wanderer on his eight-legged steed, Sleipnir, always looms large. He is the archetype, the original ghostly rider of the storm. The psychological impact of witnessing the wild hunt was said to be profound. Those who saw it were often struck dumb with terror, paralyzed by the sheer otherworldly horror of the spectacle. The sound alone was enough to curdle the blood. The thunder of spectral hooves, the baying of hellhounds, the shrieks of the ghostly host, and the commanding blast of Odin's horn were a symphony of damnation. Folklore is filled with cautionary tales about the dangers of interacting with the hunt. It was said that if you mockingly shouted, "Let me have a share of the game," the hunters might throw a human leg or arm down at you, a grisly trophy that could not be gotten rid of and would bring you endless misfortune. Standing in the middle of a road during the hunt was a death sentence. The only way to survive was to throw oneself face down on the ground and not look up until the procession had passed entirely. The story served as a powerful tool of social control, a way to keep people, especially children, indoors and safe during the dangerous, dark nights of deep winter. The fear of the wild hunt was a fear of the wilderness itself, of the untamed forces of nature, and of the thin boundaries separating life from the vast, unknown territory of death. The ghostly riders were a reminder that humanity's hold on the world was tenuous, and that in the heart of the storm, ancient and terrible powers still held sway. Hit like, subscribe, and share. Your support keeps this channel alive.